No? Okay, well, let's start with Carlos in California. Carlos, you're live with Eric and Jim. What did you want to talk about today?
Hi, Eric and Jim. How you guys doing?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Trying to stay safe, my man.
Doing well. Doing well. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to reason together this topic. I appreciate it. How would you like me to start? How is the structure of the show?
Sure. So you're the one who brings up what you want to talk about, and we try and meet you where you're at, and then talk to you about it and see if we agree on your reasoning and how you got there. So what specifically did you want to talk about today?
Well, I would like to talk about the Bible. I don't know if you guys have a Bible available in the show so we can open it up for debate.
So question, why should we?
Why the Bible?
Well, why should we open the Bible?
The only thing I ask is I'm not cursing at you guys. Don't curse back at me. When I called, the guy told me to be reasonable and kind, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm not cursing at you.
Did I curse?
No one's cursed at you yet, sir.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you allow me, if you look at the Bible on Genesis 5,
no,
there is a There is a meaning behind the name in the genealogy of Adam.
Carlos,
and I would like you guys to, yes, sir.
Hey, bud. So I'll do my best not to cuss out of personal respect, but it is my show, so we'll do it. It is our show, so we'll do it if we see fit. But why open the Bible? Why should we do that? Is there something?
My understanding is that you guys believe that there is no God. I believe there is a God, and I would like you to open the Bible, and I will show you that there is a God.
So
no, that's not my position at all.
So how would you like me to prove that there is a God if you put the Bible on if you put the Bible on trial? Shouldn't you, a fair trial, have the Bible open for debate?
No.
Well, first you have to prove that the Bible is relevant to the topic. And when I have read the Bible, what I have found is that neither creation story in the Bible is scientifically accurate. Noah's flood is not scientifically accurate. There is absolutely zero evidence for it. There is the Israeli archaeologists and Egyptian archaeologists agree that Israelites were never in Egypt and anywhere near the numbers, if at all, during any of the time periods that they were supposed to be in Egypt. It seems to fail on a number of very, very important topics based on everything we know about the world today. So why should we take the Bible seriously at all, given the huge amounts of flaws in those stories that are supposed to prove that Jesus Christ existed, which is the whole purpose of the Bible, not to be how to be a Christian. So why should we take the Bible seriously?
Well, that's the thing. The Bible was written in a way that the intellect doesn't quite comprehend. And you know what? I was also one of them. I was a philosophy major.
That is a pretty big claim, that the intellect does not comprehend it. Can you explain that?
It's not my claim. It's not my claim. It's Christ's claim. Give me one verse. And if I show you in one verse that there's things that you guys have not seen, then I will, you guys win. But just give me one verse. That's all I ask.
Sure. So what I'm going to say in response to that is you can read anything into any book of literature. I can pull out a book of fiction that we both agree is fiction and find something useful to it. I don't see that as a useful test.
If you give me one verse, I will show you that there is something you have not seen.
Did you hear what I just said?
If not, then the whole audience will think I'm crazy, right? And you're right.
No.
But if I'm right,
did you hear what I just said, Carlos? Did you hear what I just said?
So how can I? This is the thing. You want me to prove there is a God, but you don't allow me to open the Bible to prove you that there is a God. You want me to show you that there is a God based on creation.
No, Carlos. I just gave you a response. Answer it.
What is your question?
Okay, listen this time. I said I can pull out any book of fiction that you and I both agree is fiction and find something useful in it. And so if you're going to try and find meaning out of a passage of the Bible, but you can do that with literally any book, I don't see any use to your test.
Are you finished?
Yes. Do you have a response?
Okay. Yes, I do. You started your question. You're saying if we both agree it's fiction. I don't agree it's fiction. So we have a disagreement. And I would like, that's what you just said. If we both agree it's fiction. I don't agree it's fiction.
Carlos, I'm talking about books of fiction. Harry Potter. Do you think Harry Potter is true?
No.
Okay. Can we both agree that it's fiction?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that I can pull out a verse from Harry Potter and try and make it sound useful, or I can find use in passages out of that book?
No.
No. You think the Bible is the only one that does that?
Yes.
So Harry Potter, when he, at the very end, when he sacrifices himself for his friends, and that's not useful as an example of noble sacrifice?
You want me to talk about Harry Potter, but you guys want to open the Bible and give me the chance to open one verse?
You know what, Eric? I'm willing to give him. Let's see where he goes.
Not yet. No,
okay.
Not yet.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, not yet, Carlos. So here's the thing, dude. I see them as on the same footing, right?
Okay.
What I'm asking you is to justify the difference between Harry Potter and the Bible. And so far your answer has been because the Bible's the only book that you can find use out of any passages from. Jim's response to you was, here's something that happened in Harry Potter that has moral ethical value, or a demonstration of something that you can find useful. Your response was, you're not letting me in the Bible. Do you understand how that is completely sidestepping and not responding to what he said?
I will respond to your question, sir. The Bible is written in a way that it unfolds itself. So the Old Testament unfolds in the New Testament. The New Testament unfolds in the times that we're living now. That's why the Bible, you can check it with like facts, with events that happen, with events that are relevant to our lives, and you can check it with the Bible how it comes developed. And that's why the Bible, like any other books. Yes, sir.
I've done that. I'm sure Eric has done that. But when I did that, when I saw the passage that said, "Oh, hey, if somebody steals a cow from you, then he has to repay it with 5 cows," and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." But then the Bible says something very, very heinous. It says, if he can't afford the 5 cows, sell him into slavery. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to debate what version of slavery what it is, because both chattel slavery and indentured servitude are both evil. There's reasons why both those things have been outlawed as unethical. So no, there are I can pick any book and find good things and bad things in them, but I can ignore the bad things. The Bible? Yes, twice.
Have you read the Bible?
Twice.
And then let me ask you this. Okay, and let me ask you this: how many kingdoms are the Bible describes?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Well, there was 2 kingdoms, right? If the kingdom of this world and the kingdom of above.
You are so full of shit.
In the Bible.
No.
Again, you keep coming back to the Bible, but you haven't proven that the Bible is worth reading.
Because you don't want to open it. You're not open to it.
Okay.
I heard you one verse. I heard about you, Harry Potter. Yeah. Give me one verse. Give me one verse.
You haven't given a justification to why we should care. I don't want to waste your time. As much as you don't want to waste ours. Right? So if you're wasting your time, then there's no point. If the justification you've given isn't good enough, then there's no reason to.
Okay.
And by the way, there are many kingdoms in the Bible. The whole Old Testament is a justification of a tribe trying to justify the murder and enslavement and genocide that they committed to get their holy land. There are lots of kingdoms in the Bible. I mean, even Jesus said, "Give unto Caesar that which is Caesar." Do you think they're not referencing a kingdom? No, you're just talking about one very specific thing, dude, and that's okay. But don't talk down to us as if we don't understand, right?
Sir,
King Nebuchadnezzar.
I have not used foul language to you. You are the ones doing that to me. You guys tell me you guys speak slavery. You guys speak Harry Potter, and I listen and I listen to what you guys say. But if you guys want to put God on trial, then you guys should be open to whoever comes and say, okay, if you want to use Harry Potter and you want to use slavery scripture, then also give me the chance to show you a scripture that will open your eyes. And if I'm wrong, your audience will think that I'm wrong and you guys win. But if I'm right, then we can maybe both come to an understanding. That's all I'm saying.
So go for it. We're going to hear it, and we'll show you what we mean. I didn't want to waste your time, but obviously you're not there. So go for it, man.
Okay. In Genesis 5, there's a genealogy, okay? And back in the day, in Judea, in Israel, back in the day, each name had a meaning. So each of those names has a secret meaning. And for instance, I will tell you, Adam means man, Seth means appointed, Enoch means mortal, Canaan means sorrow, Mahalalel means the blessed God, Jared means shall come down, Enoch means teachings, Methuselah means his death shall bring, Lamech means the despairing, Noah means comfort. If we put that together, it reads, man has appointed mortal sorrow. The blessed God shall come down teaching, his death shall bring the despairing comfort. Now, in the Torah, if we read the Torah, if we go deeper, if we really want to know who God is, then it describes who this Noah is. It says, this one will provide us relief from our work and from the toil of our hand and of the very soil which the Lord placed under a curse. So right there in the Torah, the own Jew people they reject the Messiah. But in Genesis, in the verse 5, right there, it gives you the whole plan of salvation. Men, when they chose to hear the lies of Satan, appointed death to themselves. But then the God will come as a flesh.
Yeah, I've heard enough. I'd like to respond. I've heard enough. I'd like to respond.
Go for it, Jim.
So first of all, I can do the exact same hermeneutic. I think I'm using the right word. The exact same textual analysis you just did on a number of books who use old names that don't have any more value to them than the Bible does. So I don't care that you just did that textual analysis because it doesn't mean anything, because it's just a book. You haven't demonstrated that the book is special or that the book should be treated with any more reverence than any other book that I pick up. And that's the problem. So the rest of it, I don't care about, because you haven't demonstrated the value of the Bible being anything more than a badly written anthology about a really bad antagonist. That's all you've done.
Okay, I understand. Now let me ask you: does Harry Potter foretells the future, how it will unfold in real life?
Neither does the Bible.
Or the Simpsons, does. Which of them?
The Bible doesn't either.
I'd like to jump in here really quick.
Oh yes, the Bible does. You know, look, guys.
Carlos.
I didn't come here to argue with.
Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hi.
So you were using exegesis and hermeneutics, is that correct?
I was using what, sorry?
Exegesis and hermeneutics.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. So hermeneutics is the study of the original texts of a thing. And as you study more about it, you learn, and then you plug back in so you can learn more, right? Let me give you an example. I need to come up with a one that's different, but I keep going to Spider-Man, right? Do you know Spider-Man, the comic book?
Yeah, I read. I haven't seen Spider-Man in a long time, but go ahead with your analogy.
That's okay, no worries. He lives in New York, right? I can pull out comics from the 70s of Spider-Man, and I can apply hermeneutics. And as I'm doing that, even though Spider-Man doesn't exist, what I can do is I can see how they're talking to each other and what's going on in the background, what's on posters, what kind of music, what's the style, and this and that. And then as I'm learning, oh, hey, this word means this, I can go back in and learn more, right? I'm plugging back in my knowledge as I'm learning about it. So even though I'm studying a book of fiction, I can walk away with it having an understanding of what the actual culture in the United States was at that time. That's hermeneutics.
And what did you learn? What did you learn useful from Spider-Man in your life that you apply?
With great power, with great power comes with great responsibility.
Hold on. What does that matter?
Because you just said you just put the Bible next to Spider-Man. The Bible gives you life. Spider-Man is a fiction show. You just say it's a fiction show. So my question is, what did you get from Spider-Man?
So
I want you to follow me because we're getting off topic here, and I want you to follow me very closely.
I am.
No, you're changing the subject here, and I'm trying to make a point. The point is, you can use hermeneutics to understand a culture. You cannot use hermeneutics to justify saying that Spider-Man existed in the real world. So it is a tool that has use, but not the use.
I don't know what hermeneutics means. I don't understand. I don't think most of the viewers.
I just explained it. I just gave you a full description.
Can you explain it again?
Sure. What's another comic that takes place in the real world? Somebody help me.
Actually, probably just pick like Harry Dresden.
Dresden Files. Or
Files. Thank you.
Somebody said The Simpsons. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simpsons, right? Small town USA. I can look at episodes of The Simpsons from the 90s and learn about the culture in the United States from things that are referenced in The Simpsons, right? I can look at that. Well, that's a video format, but I can look at writings from specific times and be able to pull out actual information that is useful and helpful. From the Bible, you can use hermeneutics to understand the culture of the time, the way people talked, what they valued, how their moral and ethical system is different from the one that we have, how they treated each other, and the way that they set those things up. Those genealogies were important to them at the time, and that's why they listed it out. Right?
But that's the difference, my friend. That's the difference. You think that the Bible was written for certain people. The Bible was written for whole humanity. I mean, how do you
know that?
What do you guys believe? So what do you guys believe you guys came from? What's your answer?
Do I have to have an answer to tell you that you're wrong?
Excuse me?
Do I have to have an answer to tell you that you're wrong?
No, I'm not wrong. So I'm asking you, where do you come from?
I asked you a question. Try listening a little harder. Do I have to have an answer to tell you that you're wrong?
You're wrong about what?
So your response was, give me a better response, right? Your response was, give me your explanation. I don't have to. Have you heard the gumball analogy?
So you guys believe that you just
Have you heard the gumball analogy? Have you heard the gumball analogy?
Don't yell at me, sir. I'm talking to you respectfully. Why can't you talk to me with respect?
So I respect you as a person.
Is that how you treat your callers that disagree with you? You guys disagree with me. I treat you with very much respect. Why do you guys raise your voice at me?
Carlos.
Yes?
If you don't like it, hang up. Otherwise, respond. Do you know, have you heard the gumball?
The gumball? No, I haven't heard the gumball.
Jim, do you want to give him the gumball analogy or something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Proves the same point. Sure.
What is the gumball analogy?
Sure. So let's say you and Jim are sitting in a room together and I walk in with a jar of gumballs. You know that Jim has never seen them and you know that you've never seen them, right? So I lay that jar of gumballs, set it on the table, and I say, both of you guys, how many gumballs are in the jar? Is the number even or odd? Right? Well, and Jim pops in and he goes, it's even. I know that for a fact. Well, Carlos, you know that he's never seen that jar of gumballs. So do you agree with him?
So that's even? How we created?
Do you agree with him that it is even?
You're not answering my question. My question is, why you guys make a show and you get, you make a living. I don't know if you guys make a living out of this. Claiming that
it all goes to charity.
So then my question to you guys, what is your foundation? Where do you guys come from? Can you guys explain it to me? If we look at the sky, we look at the stars, there's life nowhere, right?
You're waiting.
There's only life in this planet. Why is that? Can you answer me that?
Be on hold if you don't stop. We're going to try this one more time. Did you hear what I said about the gumball analogy? I asked you a question and you responded with something that is not related.
If you have a gamble and somebody takes a number and it's even, do I agree if it's even? That's your question?
Yes. I set down a jar of gumball. No, my question is, what is your response to Jim? Jim looks at the jar and says it's an even number in there. Do you agree with him that it's an even number in there?
I'll be like, let's find out. Let's look at how many examples there are. Let's put it on the table. Let's reason together. That's what I would say.
I think that's a wonderful response. I'd love for you to respond to the question too. Do you agree with Jim that it is an even number? Yes or no?
I agree that he believes it's an even number, but I cannot tell you factually if it's an even number if I don't see it on the table.
Agreed. So let's say you're unable to open the jar. You have no idea. Do you agree with Jim that it's even or odd, or that it's even?
I agree that he believes, but I cannot.
I don't care. I don't care what he believes. I'm asking about you. Do you agree with Jim?
No, because I have not verified.
Okay, so you're saying that it's odd.
I'm not saying it's odd. I say I have not verified it.
Oh, so hold on a second. You don't agree with Jim, right? And you also don't have to have your own opinion, right? Why do you disagree with Jim?
It's even. But for me to verify it's even, I need to put it on the table and count it. How many evens there are or not. And then we can count together.
I agree.
It's like the Bible.
Yeah, Carlos. When
you say
Carlos.
I'll tell you open it and let's debate.
No, Carlos, we agree that the best way to do it is to actually have evidence, and that just because I say that it is even and you disagree, you don't have to prove that it's odd to disagree with my conclusion that it's even. We agree with those things. The same thing happens when you're making your claim with the God. The difference is on anything you're going to ask us, where we came from, ultimate meaning, and all that, we're going to say where we came from. Ultimately, the Big Bang is the best explanation. Anything past that, we don't know. And you're going to go, God did it. Well, no, that's not an acceptable answer. Just because we don't have an answer doesn't mean you get to claim God. Just because we assign value to our lives doesn't mean God assigned value to our lives. That's where we're coming from. The skeptical position is to say, and the most honest answer you can give in so many cases is, I don't know. And honestly, that's the hardest thing about being an atheist, is to say those 3 words. Well, 4 words technically. I do not know. We don't get to run to God.
You believe that intelligence doesn't come from a source, right? Like, if you look at your body, you're perfectly made, right? You have a brain.
No, I'm not.
Arms, you have legs.
Dude, I'm wearing glasses, and so is Eric. We're not perfectly made. I have attention deficit disorder. My brain is not perfectly made. Well, it is for me, but everyone else thinks so. But we're not perfectly made in any shape, way, shape, or form.
There are animals that have better eyes than us. There are animals that have.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you. If you believe that there's no God and we came from stardust, right? So then,
no.
What makes your life?
You should ask us what we believe. No, Carlos, stop. I want to stop you right there. You're straw manning us. You haven't asked us what we believe on those topics.
But you just told me you believe we come from the Big Bang, didn't you?
That's the ultimate source, yes, but that's not stardust. So before you start straw manning us, make sure you understand our position.
Look, guys, I'm not calling here to argue with you. I'm not going to convince anybody if you guys don't want to listen. You know, I'm just trying. I really sincerely care for you guys. And I'm not here to prove my point. I'm not here to say I'm right. I'm just here to share truth. That's all.
Okay. Well,
but you haven't shared a truth with us yet that we don't already, that we're willing to accept as true.
Explain to me, dear sir, what do you believe in?
Doesn't matter.
On what topic?
On life. So we believe that you just, boom, randomly come here with and everything in the universe is just made out of just luck?
It's made out of what?
So Carlos, let's say,
randomly you fell on this place. Like you randomly.
No, not random.
Okay, so then who created? If it's not random, then somebody ordained it, right?
No. See, this is what you didn't hear what I said, Carlos. You didn't hear what I said. We say, I don't know. You're jumping to God. You can't jump to God without evidence. The most you can say is, I don't know. You can't jump to God.
What are you telling me what I should say? I don't tell you what you should say.
Because that is logical and rational. You have to have a reason. You have to have evidence for your position.
My friend, I'm telling you the reason. If you were to open the Bible, you will see that everything that was told, it fulfills. Look, at the end of this conversation, I'm gonna put a comment, okay? And in that comment, there's gonna be a few links, And if you guys want to look at those links, you're more than welcome. And I can call next Sunday if you allow me, and then we can have a beautiful debate. I didn't call you guys to put you down.
Can I ask you a serious question real quick?
Yeah,
Eric has been doing this for a number of years. I've been doing this for a number of years, not on Talk Heathen or shows, but personally. Do you honestly think that there is a prophecy you can come up with in the Bible that Eric or I haven't already looked at and dismissed as being accurate?
Yes, my friend, I do.
You
know, may I share it with you? Just give me
no. I think you just want to preach, and you're clearly not listening.
Carlos is
not having a conversation.
Session. Dude, last question. Could you be wrong? Is there a chance? Is there anything we could tell you that could persuade you?
Absolutely not, because I found the truth, guys.
Bye-bye.
That's the difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was Carlos.
Right. And also, Eric, I think you and I have both forgotten, and the callers don't know, that there is more delay in our talking than normal. And we were talking over each other, not because we were being rude, but because of the delays. So we also need to keep that in mind, because it's more than we're used to.
Absolutely.
And callers, I know you're listening as well. Keep that in mind as well, is that we will talk over each other probably more than we're used to, simply because of the added delays. So let's be a little bit more patient on the talking over.
Cheers.
But yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to Mark.